Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are doing well. Today's topic is complex numbers. This is gonna be a short lecture because today we are going to discuss only complex numbers, their definition, the notation, and then examples. Okay, so let us start. Firstly, we are going to see the definition. What the definition says: complex numbers are the numbers that are expressed in the form of a plus ib or a plus iota b, where a, b are real numbers and I is an imaginary number called iota. So basically, complex numbers are the combination of real numbers and imaginary numbers. Okay, the first part of a complex number is real number and the second half is imaginary number. So we all know that what are the real numbers. I have already made a video on real numbers. You can check it, and I have pinned the link in the description box as well. You can check it out there as well. But for your convenience, I'm telling you in short that what are the real numbers. Real numbers are all the numbers that can be represented on the number line except imaginary numbers, obviously, because imaginary is opposite to real, so only imaginary numbers are not included in the real number, but all the other numbers are included in the real numbers. Like, real number contains whole numbers, natural numbers, integers, rational numbers or irrational numbers, etc. Okay, but they doesn't contain imaginary numbers. Okay, now let us move forward. I have specifically specified here that what are the imaginary numbers. So imaginary numbers, an imaginary number is usually represented by I or J. Mostly, in most of the cases, you will see that this is represented by I. Just forget about J. Okay, which is equal to this value. The value is what? Under root minus 1 or square root minus 1. Therefore, the square of the imaginary number gives a negative value. Since I or iota is equal to under root minus 1, so iota square will be equal to minus 1. See, imaginary number is being represented by I and its value is iota is equal to under root minus 1. Okay, iota is equal to under root minus 1, and obviously when we will take its square, it will produce what? It will produce negative 1, because here under root value, here on under root we have the power of half, 1 upon 2. So when this 1 upon 2 will be multiplied by this 2, this square 2, then obviously it will cancel out the effect of each other and only 1 will be remaining. So this will produce I square or iota square will be equal to minus 1. Okay, so this was about imaginary numbers. Now let us move forward and see the notation for complex numbers. So the notation is simply the representation. Like, how do we generally represent complex numbers? So notation: an equation of the form z is equal to a plus iota b, where a and b are real numbers, is defined to be a complex number. The real part is denoted by re, z is equal to a. This is the real part. Okay, a real number or real part is represented by re and the real part is z is equal to a. In this whole equation, z is equal to a plus iota b, z equal to a. This is the real part. Okay, and the imaginary part is denoted by im, z is equal to ib. Imaginary represented by im, and the imaginary part is what? Z is equal to ib. Okay, so this is the difference. So here what is the symbol used for complex number? This is z. This is showing complex numbers. Okay, and this equation is showing the two parts of the complex number. A, z is equal to a, this is the real part, and z is equal to ib is the imaginary part, because with whatever the real number is, when we put I or iota with it, it becomes the imaginary part of that complex number. Okay, I hope you have got the idea till here. Now let us see the some examples of complex numbers. So the first example is 2 plus 3 iota, 3 plus 9 iota, 0 plus 0 iota. These are some simple examples for complex numbers. This is not necessary that always positive values will come. There can be negative numbers as well, or rational numbers as well, obviously, because all are the real numbers. Like this one can also be the example. Let me clear the board first, and I'll write some examples for you here at the bottom. Okay, so let's write some examples, like under root 50 plus 31 iota. Okay, or you can say under root 2 minus 2 iota, or minus 1 minus 100 iota. These all are the authentic complex numbers. Okay, they are what? They are complex numbers. Okay, so some of you may think that how can this be this last example, how can it be called a complex number? So dear students, as we all know, 0 is the real number. See, 0 is real number, obviously. So this has been the real part of this complex number, and 0 iota, any real number, any real number as 0, this is the real number, can come with what? Iota sign. So this makes the imaginary part. So this is the valid example of complex numbers. Okay, because 0 can be the 0 is the real number, and any real number can be presented with iota to make it imaginary number. So when 0 is represented with iota sign, it becomes the imaginary part for any complex number. So this is the valid example for the complex numbers. Okay, so this was the today's lecture. I hope you must have understand it, and if you have any query or confusion, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you so much. Allah.